Hello, everybody. Welcome to this wellness. Is it a sprint or are we doing more of a walk? I'm going to call this a wellness walk today. So, welcome here. I've got two great guests today, and I am on the bottom, so I don't have to worry about which one to point to. I just point up. Why don't we do some self intros? And to avoid confusion, let's go with the Margaret first.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Margaret. You can find me over at the Word Nerd. Technically, I am currently on a break from writing because my brain broke last year. But I am planning on getting back into it. I write adult fantasy now. And then I also talk mostly on my channel. I talk about fantasy books and romances and stuff like that.
Woohoo! And what are your three favorite fandoms? So people can
That's
get a
right. I'm
flavor
supposed
of
to tell
your
people.
brand.
Oh boy, my three fandoms. Well, right now I'd have to say Percy Jackson is my oldest brand at this point that people would recognize me for. You may also recognize me from the Avengers Initiative Reading Challenge. I talk a lot about comic books. I am a DC girl, but unfortunately DC has just fumbled the ball with the movies and all of that. And then I am also a recent convert to D&D. So you'll be seeing some of that journey as I have kind of worked it into a TBR game that I started. So that should be interesting to see where that goes.
Oh, cool. Very, very cool. All right. And I just wanted to add that Margaret is one of the booktube / other tube hybrid people like I am. And so you'll find her in both sort of channels and switching back and forth. So there's extra material, extra awesomeness.
Yes. Hopefully there'll be a lot more writing content this coming year. There hasn't been any since 2019, I think, but hopefully this year we're getting back in the swing of things.
Cool. And Colin.
Yes, 'tis I, Colin Clark, author, tuber, writer, and audio narrator. That's me. I write mainly horror, fantasy, steampunk, and anything else that takes my fantasy. I don't do erotica, and you can find me on AuthorTube, usually somewhere, some poor somebody's live streams, usually Margaret, like this one. So yes, three favorite fandoms. Well, first of all would be Supernatural. I just love the Supernatural series. Marvel Avengers would be up there for sure, and The Witcher, because one, I like the comic graphic novel, and I also like the series. So yeah, that's my favorites.
Excellent. And I'm just catching up in the chat here, saying hello to Natalie. This is a person who I just met in the last sprint, Gwynna the Winna. Glad I made it in time. That was the fastest shower I've ever taken. Appreciate the haste, but don't worry, you can slow down and relax now. Shannon SD Houston is here. Make friends with that like button. Thank you for reminding me. Like, share, and subscribe. She is not staying long so she can spend more time with her son because he's only here for the weekend because it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Shannon.
And he came home by surprise, which was wonderful.
Tamara Woods here. CB394, some more British contingent. Gwynna the Winna asking about what class do you play in D&D? Okay, we're gonna go down that rabbit hole very quickly.
So I have yet to I've only played 2 games at this point. And I played a paladin in one and I played a cleric in the other one. So I haven't gotten a chance to figure out what my favorite class is yet, but I do plan on trying all of them before I decide. Maybe, possibly, I don't know.
Nice. And I didn't know that there was such an overlap of the fandoms with these two, but I'm going to zoom out a little bit and say my 3 favorite fandoms will be recognizable to most of you. Musicals, Lord of the Rings, and Scotland. So, if you're like any of those, you know who to turn to. Clerics rule. Awesome.
Oh my God.
Let me change that out. And we're going to...
It's really fun being a cleric when you're trying to teach your parents how to play too.
Wow.
That is a choice.
I used all of my spell slots on healing in our first combat.
Okay.
Yes. I said that to Jenna the other evening. We were talking in the chat somewhere, and I said that D&D, I remember playing it back in the day when Games Workshop was brand new. kind of thing in the 70s. There was one shop in Hammersmith in London that was Games Workshop, but then I went on to Warhammer, which is similar but not the same.
Okay. Can't join you guys there. Sorry. I've heard of them, but that's about it. Like my brother is the one who went further into that world and got into World of Warcraft and then went the way of the computer. So, but
my brother does StarCraft, and I'm just like, I don't have time for that, sir.
All right. So I thought I'd give a little outline of the games we were going to try to play. Basically, the flavor of the order of the hour is theater games, kind of like if you were in a class and you were trying to loosen up to get ready to do acting stuff, you'd have a certain physical sort of loosening up process, and then some like tongue twisters for your mouth, and then, you know, getting warm so that you're ready for the game. And so I figured that was a good transition for people who have been writing and hunched over and anxious about the word count and all this stuff on all the sprints this weekend. So we've got other people chiming in about fandoms. Wrestling. Yep. Nia is agreeing. Jim's books, reading and stuff. Remembers Games Workshop in Hammersmith. Excellent.
Somebody else actually went there. Darling Rose. Yes.
Yep. And Maggie Ward here is saying, and it pops up, Brown Coat Nation. Haven't heard of that. Assassin's Creed I do know about. Nice.
Assassin's Creed for sure, yeah.
Wellness is courtesy of this margarita. Thank you, Richard. Okay, margarita pizza. Then it's spelled wrong. Okay, the writers are going to point that out. It's spelled wrong. The outline is that we're going to do some of that physical loosening up stuff, and then we're going to do a little preview of the Bulwer-Lytton winners from previous years. If anyone knows what the Bulwer-Lytton prize is for, shoot it in the comments. It's a fun treat. And then at the end, we're going to read some passages and act them out, see if that works, and maybe do some blind contour drawing. So the only thing you need are your hands and your eyes and maybe a pen and paper later. So if you want to get those things, feel free to go grab them and come back to your screen. And let's just do 1 minute of like relaxing our face. So for me, at least, and I'm going to hog the spotlight for a second here. And you can turn off your cameras if you want. I'm fine being embarrassed about my face on camera. But for me, at least, when I'm live streaming, I get sore afterwards because I'm smiling so hard. And so if people are like wondering, Margaret's not an introvert. She's streaming all the time. And she's always so all over the place. And she sings and da-da-da-da. Yes, but this is a lot of concentrated energy coming at the screen. So afterwards, I end up going,
I mean, as an introvert who is also a theater kid, it is completely possible.
Yes.
So,
so how many of you can poke a place right here in your jaw that is like squeezed tight, and then like open it real big, yawn if it makes you yawn, and
like that.
Yeah, exercise that jaw.
Yes, my jaw's very well exercised because I never shut up.
What was that about being quiet in the corner, Colin?
Yeah, you know, it's not me. I don't do quiet.
All right. Well, you've got.
I will be quiet.
To help you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The other thing you can do is sort of like the sinus area. So if you have sinus pressure, this can sometimes help, but it also helps when you're just
tapping it.
Yeah, sort of like across the cheeks to sort of like smooth it down. And take a breath while you're doing it, you know, just kind of like.
Fortunately, if I do that, the bags from under my eyes cover my ears and I can't hear what's going on. So.
All right. Do you guys do anything else with your face that's like helpful with your neck or your forehead or your eyebrows or anything in particular?
Just do this one where you're just tilting the head
to
side to side.
Be gentle.
Forward and back.
Be gentle with the neck. Don't, take it too far.
Yeah.
That can be
You should never do your head all the way back, apparently. That's really bad for your spine, but you can do it back a little bit.
Yeah, you'll hear it begin to crack if you do it too far back. Not to mention it hurts the throat.
Yeah.
All right.
Mine's fun because when I turn side to side, you can hear certain things grinding. I need to get adjusted.
Yes, the grinding.
I think mine's just rust. That's what happens. Yes.
Yeah.
All
right,
and
so
I also drink a lot of tea. It's great for the.
Tea and water. There you go. So if you have a sip of water or something like that nearby.
I didn't have tea because I didn't have time, but I do always have water on live streams.
Yeah.
Yes, that's on my checklist as well. Totally. Good idea.
Usually I'll have a tea over here and water over there. So.
Yep, it's either tea or hot cocoa and water.
Yeah. Tea and water.
I like it.
And yes, Colin has not trimmed the beard. Trixie trimmed the beard, Richard. So thank you. She's my beard maintainer.
You know, I had this very thought, Richard.
This is very weird because you keep saying Margaret referring to yourself, and I'm like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not only that, Richard, you're just jealous.
HDP editing. Hey, Heather, nice to see you.
Hello.
And I was talking about Firefly. That's one I heard great things about, but I didn't get into watching.
They finished it far too quickly. That was the problem.
They canceled the series, unfortunately, and then they just kind of wrapped it up in a movie. So if you like pain at the end of your series, I would suggest watching it. It's really good. But like it's a really good series, but it's also a Joss Whedon series, so I understand why some people maybe now don't want to get involved in it. So
I haven't heard the thing about him. I haven't seen him in any headlines, so I guess I've had my head in the sand. But
not so much in headlines, but there's a lot of like stuff that you'll hear if you know people that have gone to cons and some of the stuff. So
got it. All right.
Yeah, perhaps he's not the nicest guy in the universe.
Unfortunately.
Hey ho.
All right. So for the last little exercise I was going to do is sort of like the ballet thing that they tell you, right? So instead of leaning forward like I was just doing, we're going to do the string on the top of the head.
Oh, yeah.
So picture the top of your head where you would put books if you were going to try to walk with books on your head, and think of that as the crown. Think of a string going through your crown and through your skull, dropping down sort of like the back of your throat, down the column of your throat to your heart. And so think of like the middle of your chest up to the crown of your head, and those like chakras aligning. Sort of you feel your crown being drawn up and your heart sort of settling in place, and that line becoming straight and strong. And then you're in a different place.
Okay, sorry.
Right?
Sorry, I was falling asleep for a moment there because
you're not like this. You're not like this.
This is too good. No. Yes,
you're in a different place. Yeah. So this is what we're doing to loosen up. So that's good. The head, the face, we feel all loosey goosey, and tongue twisters. Okay, so do you guys have a tongue twister you want to start off with? Colin?
I completely forgot about the tongue twisters.
Fine. I'm sorry. Think of one.
I have one, but it's the usual, which is Peter Piper picked a pick a pickle pepper. Peter Piper picked a pick a pickle pepper. Where's the pick a pickle pepper? Peter Piper picked.
Is that 3 lines?
Just about.
Can you do it again?
Peter Piper picked a pick of pickled pepper. If Peter Piper picked a pick of pickled pepper, where's the pick of pickled pepper Peter Piper picked?
Nice.
Oh, you're missing a line that I'm used to.
Interesting.
Probably. Yes, but bear in mind, I try not to do like she sells, because with a lisp, that becomes very wet for anybody who's close to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only one. Oh, there we are. Just Eva's got one there.
Yeah. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Chuck wood. Yeah.
That was my favorite when I was growing up. Yeah. Sorry. There we go. Just Eva. Thank you. I made up one because I was thinking about this 4:30 this morning when I woke up for no reason.
God, I hate that.
Elderly Edinburgh epidemiologists. Elderly Edinburgh epidemiologists.
Ye goodness gracious.
Try it.
No, I don't even know what the words are. Elderly Edinburgh epidemiologists?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Elderly Edinburgh I see. I get stuck on the
Elderly Edinburgh epidemiologists.
Epidemiologist. Yes, elderly Edinburgh epidemiologist. Yes, it's much easier when you put on a voice. Yeah, I like that one. I'm going to write that one down.
There's the classic proper copper coffee pot.
Oh God,
That's a hard
you
one.
just threw me back to theater camp.
Yeah. I looked him up and I was like, oh, the days. It was fun. A proper
did you have
coffee pot.
Proper copper coffee pots?
Proper copper coffee pot.
Oh,
yes.
What's the one that's about the box of like I got a box of biscuits.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, hold on, let me see if I can look it up because it's a really weird one, but it's really good.
The one I like that was like, it seems like should be part of something bigger, but it isn't when I look it up, is and they'll beat a tattoo at 20-2 with a rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat, and the dragon will come at the sound of the drum at a minute or two till 2.
Wow.
No?
I always remember the vessel with the pestle is the vessel with the poison, but the flagon with the dragon is the brew, which is true.
Oh, I like that one. Say that one again.
The vessel with the pestle is the vessel with the poison, but the flagon with the dragon is the brew, which is true. That's actually Danny Kaye from the movie The Court Jester, I think.
Oh, nice. All right.
And thanks Jim's books, because I'm writing the name of that book down.
I found it. Okay, so the one that I remember from when I did musical theater camp is I got a box of biscuits. I got a box of mixed biscuits and a biscuit mixer.
I got a box of biscuits. I got a box of mixed
biscuits.
I got a box of mixed biscuits and a
biscuit
maker.
Mixer.
Biscuit mixer.
I got a box of biscuits. I got a box of biscuits and a.
I got a box of mixed biscuits and a biscuit mixer.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there again now. It is.
That's more about concentration than like warming up the lips. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
The cellar.
Yes, it was the Court Jester, according to Richard.
Nice.
Is this a tongue twister?
My very educated mother.
I don't think so. I think that's a non sequitur. Jenna Valley. We were talking about you, Jenna, about your D&D dice. Yeah. So thanks for stopping in.
Oh my God.
There's a sibilant one.
Sheep is sick.
The sheik's sixth sheep is sick.
The sheik's sixth sheep is sick. Yes. Very good. Cheers, Jeb. Right, come on.
Love that film.
Freak.
Nia remembers that one too, Colin. Leo's joining us. Hello. These are great.
Really good.
I'm too slow on the comments here. Walk.
It happens.
Yay. Use that before my clarinet practice. Oh my goodness.
Good Lord, yeah.
Yeah, warming up the lips. That's funny. Isn't shake pronounced shake?
It depends.
It really depends where you are, Richard. And isn't Margarita spelt wrong when you don't spell it right? Just reminding him,
Oh my God. Red Laurie, yellow Laurie.
Oh, no.
That one. There's also red leather, yellow leather. Red Laurie, yellow Laurie. Yeah, that's not bad.
Richard, I feel that. Autocorrect gets me all the time.
Yeah.
All right. So we ready? My internet is slow, so everything's taking a little bit of time to come up on the screen. I'm gonna try to put up the Bulwer Lytton winners. So feel free to comment on the comments as I do that because I am too slow at them. So go ahead, guys. If you call out any fandom stuff here.
I can have a look back up. Obviously, a few fans of Danny Kaye and the Court Jester. But,
I haven't heard of that one.
It is very funny film.
Share.
Yeah. Terry says top 3 fandoms: Doctor Who, Buffy, and maybe Disney.
Buffy is a good one. Buffy is a really good one.
Yeah, you've got to love Buffy because it is timeless.
It
Still as
truly.
good today.
All right. And
Let's
did
see what
anyone
else.
did anyone chime in with what the Bulwer Lytton winner contest was about?
I am not seeing it.
Okay.
The worst writing.
Bingo. So it's not, there we go. Add to stream. Here's the funny story behind this. So I thought it would be funny to read worst writing and loosen us up about our own anxieties about our writing. And I looked up the list of last year's winners, and my friend is on this list. And I was like, I need to make sure these are voluntary and not, someone trolling through their books and just grabbing passages and being featured. And so I checked in with her, and she said, yeah, I submitted the worst writing that I could think of, and it won 8 or 10 years ago. And so I was like, okay, good. I don't feel bad putting your name out there then, because that's actually an accomplishment.
I don't know. I think there are sometimes it's just so bad that it's okay.
Right? It's so bad, it's good.
I've definitely seen some descriptions of women that is just like, no, we need to share this so people know how not to write us.
That's a whole different category. Yeah.
All right.
Why isn't it adding? I keep adding and it goes up and it. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there for a second. There we go. All right. So who wants to take number 1?
I will.
Thank you, Colin.
Number 1, Sue Fondrie. Cheryl's mind turned like the vanes of a wind-powered turbine, chopping her sparrow-like thoughts into bloody pieces that fell onto a growing pile of forgotten memories. Sorry, I couldn't stop from laughing at the end. Forgotten memories. That's it.
That sentence doesn't know what book it wants to be in. Mm-hmm. Like, what genre is that?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So let's as I think it's Shannon always says, I've got to find the one remark, the love mark. I quite like the name Cheryl. That's it. There you go.
All right.
I can read the next one.
All right, go ahead.
As the dark and mysterious stranger approached, Angela bit her lip anxiously, hoping with every nerve, cell, and fiber of her being that this would be the one man who would understand, who would take her away from all this, and who would not just squeeze her boob and make a loud honking noise as all the others had.
Oh my god.
I can actually hear that Yeah. Okay.
Listen,
all right, I'll take the next one.
Yeah, it must be you this time.
It's good. Chris Wieloch. She strutted into my office wearing a dress that clung to her like saran wrap to a sloppily butchered pork knuckle, bone and sinew jutting and lurching asymmetrically beneath its folds, the tightness exaggerating the granularity of the suet and causing what little palatable meat there was to sweat, its transparency, the thief of imagination. Oh my god.
Wow.
Is talking about a pit, like an actual hog?
Yeah. I mean, that is
it's someone who strutted into an office wearing a dress, so I'd say no.
Just like, that's how you describe a cut of meat.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Someone was probably aiming for the men writing women worst of contest with that one.
Yeah, getting close to winning.
Oh my goodness. Richard saying this is very Colin. This.
Cheers! Thanks.
Talking about Doctor Who. I think that was about a couple things ago. Tiffany just dropping in. Thank you,
David's
Tiffany.
season is a good one.
Grayson asking, wait, why did they honk? We don't know. Obviously, we need to read on.
Yeah, no one's ever figured that out yet, Grayson.
Oh my gosh.
That one-
We got trumpets.
That just sounds like a Reddit post about your worst date. Like, I would read that Reddit post.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Someone want to take number 4?
Yeah, I'll quite happily take number 4. Janine Beecham, number 4. The fairies of Minglewood, which is near Dingley Pool, were having a grand revel with flower cakes and butterfly dances, looking ever so pretty, while Queen Bellaflora swept her wand o'er the waterfall's foam, making it pop like the snot bubbles on your baby sister's face.
Oh my god. This mismatch is just so beautiful.
Dear.
All right. And this is my friend, Molly Ringle, who has been on my channel. So I'll read that next one. For the first month of Ricardo and Felicity's affair, they greeted one another at every stolen rendezvous with a kiss, a lengthy, ravenous kiss, Ricardo lapping and sucking at Felicity's mouth as if she were a giant cage-mounted water bottle, and he were the world's thirstiest gerbil.
Yeah, no wonder that was a winner.
I think I need to leave now.
Oh.
What the heck? Okay. This one is by Jordan Kaderli or Kaderli, I'm not sure. Betty had eyes that said, "Come here," lips that said, "Kiss me," arms and torso that said, "Hold me all night long." But the rest of her body said, "Fillet me, cover me in cornmeal, and fry me in peanut oil." Romance wasn't easy for a mermaid.
I like that one.
That one could actually be a really good satire.
Right?
Actually, I found that one quite amusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
So-
the
I
right
read that
story.
book.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
read that book.
Yes. Right?
Mhm.
Right.
If it's intentional,
Well,
it goes in a whole nother direction if it's intentional. Sorry, I think we're done with that because of all the slowdown it's causing. But
Mhm.
yes,
Oh, God.
so if anyone is looking for, I don't know, inspiration or commiseration, look up Bulwer Lytton. I'll put that in the chat because it's sort of a weird name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those. They were very good.
Yeah. Some
That
of
was-
them could actually, I think, have if it was the right book and it was the right like what they were trying to do, could have passed, honestly. Especially that last
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, the last one could definitely be part of, yeah, as you said, satire or
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see. We have some new names in here. Carrie H. Author, hello. Lovely imagery until the snot bubbles part ruined it. Yeah, exactly. The unexpected turn. Because what you don't want to do is set someone up for something and then change the whole genre or the tone of the piece. Devin saying it's not cool. Grayson, the kiss went from sounding great to disgusting real fast. Ending was unexpected. Conversely, Richard said that story hotted up fast.
I mean, if you were describing a nightmare date, I think that would be a really good way to get that across to your audience.
Right. And then Richard saying filet meat is open to many interpretations. Well,
I think the double entendre is the point.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. I don't know. You'd have to be really confident in yourself to apply to those. So, kudos to them. Gwenna the winner.
It's not cannibalism.
Okay. Nice. All right.
I mean, it's the fish part, not the human part, I guess.
Yeah.
Bleeding to death? Does a fish bleed to death? I don't know.
So they do have hearts and blood and all of that. So
yeah. Things never before considered. We needed the retreat for this one. So third round is reading a passage from a book and having someone else act it out.
Okay.
So you guys feel ready? You guys feel warmed up to do a little?
Oh, I don't mind doing the try and act it out bit. It's the finding a passage worth acting.
Okay, I can go first with reading the passage.
Good.
Okay.
I
I have
more
the
than-
message ready too. So
Okay. Do you guys want to both do it, or do you want to have like one person go at a time so we know who to look at?
I would say have one person act it out.
Okay, that's what I was figuring.
So just like pick one person and then they're the one that gets to act it out.
Okay.
Richard, that's terrible.
Yes, it is.
That's amazing.
Hi, Sandy. Welcome. We're having a little bit of fun here.
That's a good one, Richard. I like that one.
Yes.
Okay, so Colin, how about you be the first to do the acting out the descriptive paragraph here?
Okay, I shall move back a bit. What are we doing?
So Natalie Locke, if she is watching, was recommending this book, and it's blurring. It's called On Looking by Alexander Horowitz. So here's the part I was going to read. She's talking about her son going on their walks. Someday he will be sympathetic. He will be kind, and we hope polite, but not yet. He is quietly but plainly rude. He gapes. He points with abandon. His behavior on the street is baldly impudent. He stares fixedly, penetratingly at people as they approach, as they sit near us, sometimes even as they smile at him. He pivots fully around on his toes in order to stare at passers-by. The infirm, elderly, and decrepit already register with him as unusual, and he stares even more at them. Walking down the street with him recently, he extrapolated from our talking about the various colors of the parked cars to suddenly say, white, white, while indicating the three, yes, white people innocently going about their business near us. On this day, a profoundly limping man, destitute and dressed too warmly for the weather, was clearing a path ahead of us with his presence. He was gesticulating and making exclamatory pronouncements to himself. He lurched around, the picture of menacing. Other people on the sidewalk were not simply not looking. They actively engaged themselves in other activities. A sudden phone call, a fleet-footed maneuver to step into the street that preempted any possibility of looking. I swallowed my urge to abruptly change our path. Instead, I peeked down at my son. He held his lips tightly closed, curved around his teeth. He slowed and grasped my fingers tightly in his fist as the man approached us. This lurching, menacing man stopped in front of us and stared at my son, taking him for an audience. My son was silent and attentive. It read as a critique. After a beat, the man transformed. He smiled at him. Isn't that cool? Okay, so I only got to see little snatches of your performance. But I liked it.
Stuff like that.
That's a good one. All right. Who wants to volunteer to act out one from Addie LaRue? Okay. For those that do want to read, this is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And I am reading from a part of the book that is mentioned in the synopsis. So like this is the basic thing that you're going to know going into the story. So don't worry, guys. Adeline makes her way home, the dull dread growing a little sharper with every step. By the time she gets there, her mind is buzzing with worry. The front door hangs open, spilling light onto the path, and she can hear her mother humming in the kitchen, her father chopping wood around the side of the house. A normal night, made wrong by the fact it was not meant to be a normal night. "Maman," she says, stepping inside. A plate shatters to the floor, and her mother yelps, not in pain, but surprise, her face contorted. "What are you doing here?" she demands. And here is the anger Addie expected. Here is the dismay. "I'm sorry," she starts. "I know you must be mad, but I couldn't." "Who are you?" The words are a hiss, and she realizes then that fearsome look on her mother's face is not the anger of a mother scorned, but that of a woman scared. "Maman!" Her mother cringes away from the very word. "Get out of my house!" But Adeline crosses the room, grabs her by the shoulders. "Don't be absurd. It's me." She is about to say Adeline. Indeed, she tries. 3 syllables should not be such a mountain to climb. but she is breathless by the end of the first, unable to manage the second. The air turns to stone inside her throat, and she is left stifled, silent. She tries this again, this time attempting Addie, then at their family name, LaRue, but it is no use. The words meet an impasse between her mind and tongue, and yet the second she draws breath to say another word, any other word, it is there, lungs filled and throat loose.
That was a good passage.
Yes, I like the sound of that book, actually. Yeah.
That woman knows how. Not my favorite of her books, but she knows how to write a book.
Yeah. Add some fandom.
Oh my god, the best thing she's ever written.
I liked it. I liked it too.
And I noticed Devin's actually dropped the link in for that.
Oh,
So.
nice. There you go.
Super duper.
Also for the book that I read from on Looking, because we mentioned it yesterday, so they have it in mind. Very cool. Colin's turn.
Yeah, I sort of just looked and thought, oh, that'll do. It's something, isn't it? This is from, as I said, it's quite an old book now. It's called Fire Song.
Okay.
And it's by William Nicholson. Are we ready?
I am ready.
Mumpo too was on the move now, but he was like a stag at bay, ringed by hounds. He leapt and struck, ducked and struck, slipped out of reach, and sprang back to strike again, fighting the way he had been taught to fight in the dance of death called the Manaxa. He offered himself to the blades only to spiral away, leaving bloody wounds in his wake. But even he could not escape the press of so many swords for so long. A slash of searing pain across one shoulder, and he felt the warm slick of blood down his back. He moved out of range, but too slowly, and took a blade in the gut that made him gasp the breath out of his lungs. He turned and saw the steps not far off now, and he felt himself stumble. Dimly, from far off, he felt the pain of his wounds, felt himself growing weaker, knew he must fall.
Oh, yay!
Brilliantly done.
I like that. It was like full-on fight choreography in your seat. That was impressive.
Yeah. That's what I said. How are we going to do this when the webcams are stuck to monitors? But we'll manage.
Right? I just
Thank
watched.
you, Devin.
I just watched. Catherine Manning had to do vlog setups like with multiple camera angles. And she was like, so if I'm doing a vlog about coming home and getting stuff out of the fridge, I have a camera here that I have to show me going to the refrigerator, and then I have to take the stuff out, but then I have to put it back in, put the camera over there, go to the fridge, take it out, and walk towards that other camera. And I was like, see, that's a bunch of nonsense. Like
you really have to think that out.
Yeah.
So oh, we got a bot.
Yeah, we got a bot. But Richard's there. If he's got the wrench, we should be okay.
Does he?
I've actually got a wrench, haven't I? So
I keep saying block user, and it says an error occurred. Try refreshing the page. So
someone else might have blocked them.
Yeah, I did that when I was running the stream the other day. That kept happening to me. But Richard hunts them down like it's fun. So.
Like it's Duck Hunt.
Yeah, exactly. And Devin did the same there. So
cool. Does anyone want another one?
Okay.
This is a fun one.
Why don't the two Margarets do one now?
Okay,
let's go.
All right. All right. So you're gonna have to guess which book this is from. But anyway, yeah, I'll tell you after. Ready?
Ready.
They were beginning to look out for a place off the road where they could camp for the night when they heard a sound that brought sudden fear back into their hearts, the noise of hoofs behind them. They looked back, but they could not see far because of the many windings and rollings of the road. As quickly as they could, they scrambled off the beaten way and up into the deep heather and bilberry brushwood on the slopes above until they came to a small patch of thick-growing hazels. As they peered out from among the bushes, they could see the road, faint and gray in the failing light some 30 feet below them. The sound of hoofs drew nearer. They were going fast with a light clippity-clippity-clip. Then faintly, as if it was blown away from them by the breeze, they seemed to catch a dim ringing, as of small bells tinkling. "That does not sound like a black rider's horse," said Frodo, listening intently. The other hobbits agreed hopefully that it did not, but they all remained full of suspicion. They had been in fear of pursuit for so long that any sound from behind seemed ominous and unfriendly. But Strider was now leaning forward, stooped to the ground, with a hand to his ear and a look of joy on his face. The light faded, and the leaves on the bushes rustled softly. Clearer and nearer now the bells jingled, and clippity-clip came the quick trotting feet. Suddenly into view below came a white horse, gleaming in the shadows, running swiftly. In the dusk, its headstall flickered and flashed, as if it were studded with gems like living stars. The rider's cloak streamed behind him, and his hood was thrown back. His golden red hair flowed shimmering in the wings of his speed. To Frodo it appeared that a white light was shining through the form and raiment of the rider as if through a thin veil. Yay!
Yeah, bravo.
I know what that's from.
I knew it was Lord of the Rings the minute you started. Yeah.
Really? How did you know?
I was literally sitting there going, I have heard this passage before. And then I knew exactly where you were. I was like,
I have read it, as I've said before, sort of 29 odd times now. So,
well, it's been like 20 plus years since I've read it. And so I just picked it up last night because I wasn't sleeping and I started it. And so I thought I got to read from this today. So yeah.
Now you've got to read it again.
I think the last time I read it, I was probably 16 or 17. So it's been almost 20 years for me too.
Yeah.
I'm going to read it again soon. But
yeah, I haven't read it for the past 10 or 15 years. But
yeah.
Before that, it was, once a year usually. There you go.
SimK was on to us early. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Colin act out the church scene from The Fog by James Herbert. I don't know what that is.
Oh, yes, but darn me if I haven't got a physical copy of that book anymore, Richard, which I haven't.
Yay. As soon as I mentioned Frodo, all bets were off, right?
I mean,
okay, so I've been rereading for the past 8 years.
Even Richard realized where we were when you said Frodo.
Yes, haven't read it yet. Devin, get on that. It's so good.
It's best as an audiobook, in my opinion. Like, I love it.
Who reads it and the one that you like?
Oh, I don't remember because the one that I like is the recorded books one from like 20 years ago.
Okay.
But like he's a decent narrator, but he does sing the songs, and so that adds an extra level to it. Because for me, if there's a song, I'm gonna read it, but I'm not really gonna I'm not gonna like. But if you're listening to it and somebody's singing it, it really does bring it in for you.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out who does it now.
Yeah, I'm sure some like famous people have done it because they wanted to make some money off of it. But we've had a couple.
Rob Inglis.
Who's that?
Rob Inglis. Actually does book one now on Audible. So.
Oh, this would be a great time to point out that Colin is available for audiobook work if anyone is looking to make their.
Yes, I am. Yes, please do bear me in mind.
The dulcet tones.
Here.
Nice.
Dulcet tones, yeah. It's been called many things. Dulcet, not one of them. Yes. I have a scene here, but I don't know. Are you going to do it, Margaret? Margaret P.
Sure.
And it's just, I've opened the book at this, so we'll see what happens. Somebody may recognize this book. Sadie sat back in silence and studied him for a while longer. At this distance, she could see the fine lines and darkened circles underneath his eyes, the beginnings of facial hair along his jawline. His skin was an odd shade of grey, washed out amongst the coral peach of the sofa. He looked up, registered that she was staring. Sadie blushed and turned away, but he shrugged again. He didn't seem to mind. He sat motionless, a concrete cast of himself, staring in the direction of the television set. His eyes were utterly still now, not focusing on anything that was going on. She recognized the T-shirt he was wearing and after a few minutes of pondering its origin, realized it was one of her old sports shirts. She felt an odd twinge at the realization. That'll do.
An odd twinge. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
So that was a little thing from the wonderful One Road In by Hannah Palmer.
Oh,
Nice.
One of our very own author tubers.
oh nice. Okay. I don't know her.
Available at all good bookstores, especially Amazon, and comes in a nice paperback. It's got a lovely cover.
I do. I like the cover.
Yep. I know Hannah. Well, Hannah's not here, but if she will, I haven't finished reading it yet. See, Richard recognises it anyway. So
Excellent.
recommended reading.
Sin-K, I was late to the Tolkien train, but the amount of copies of that book I currently have, it's insane. Saving up for the entire history.
Nice.
Yeah.
We I watched the first movie first because my mom took me to see it, and then she had us read all of the books.
Mhm.
I have seen that first movie 19 times.
Wow.
I haven't counted.
Actually,
Most of those were in the year between waiting for, I think, Two Towers and Return of the King.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw the first two at the cinema. The third
The
one I
methadone to
didn't-
get you to
yeah.
the next.
Exactly. I didn't get the third one at the cinema, but I've watched them all countless times.
Oh yeah, watching it at the theaters was like a wild experience, especially with the way the endings go in Return of the King.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
No, still the Battle
And
of
then-
Helm's Deep, superb.
Getting your friends together to watch it with the full cut or like the director's cut or whatever the extra stuff was.
Extended
That
edition.
was also a whole new thing.
Yeah. See, that was my favorite part because I knew that my favorite scene in Return of the King was going to be in the extended cut, which is
Oh.
Eowyn and Faramir.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
We
a good
actually like took up an entire row when we went to see Return of the King. Because
That's cool.
we were homeschoolers. We got everybody together.
Nice.
Mhm. Great.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm still peeved with the ending because Hobbiton just wasn't done. I'm sorry.
I understand I understand part of why they didn't do it when they talk about like it was a huge part of why Tolkien, but when they were talking about how like it was kind of anticlimactic, I was like, I can
Mhm.
appreciate and recognize that, even if it does mean we're missing like half of the message of the
Mhm.
books now.
Yeah, but and the point being is the movies were superb and
They
are an adaptation. So
Yeah, and they are some of the best book to screen adaptations because I feel like a lot like you don't feel like anything is missing except for
apart
that.
from
Yeah,
and
that
Tom
Hobbit-
Bombadil. Yeah, Tom Bombadil.
And Tom Bombadil. And I mean,
Yeah.
the one that I read. Who was the character that I read about?
Tom Bombadil? No, actually, who was the character? That
Glorfindel.
was Gandalf. Surely.
Glorfindel.
Glorfindel.
Margaret's got it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, it was Glorfindel because they replaced him with Arwen in the movie, which made sense.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
We can all have these discussions with our adapters when our works are converted to the film and the stage
Yeah.
and the small screen.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to say, is the money in my account? Fine. I'll come and see the movie. But,
Pragmatic
I-
Colin.
I already have some things that I'm like, listen, if y'all want to go with this instead of what I wrote, let's do it. Like, I know things that I'm like, I can't write this, but I think if we had the right team of writers, we could definitely do this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's the way. Teams. Yeah, there
Tom
you go.
Bombadil is such a moment. I understand that he is thematically out of place, but he is such a moment.
Mhm. Exactly. It's
So.
just in touch with the old gods there. But never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. Oh, Gods of England. Yeah.
Mhm.
In case you guys are interested, Lana Ex Libris and Amy Potato Brarian and Rosie Cockshut and I did an episode in December. I think it was they've done 2 episodes already of like cooking from Tolkien, and they do like trivia and stuff. And then Amy and I joined for the 3rd episode in December, and it was so fun. We were like quizzing each other and like getting points, and then just talking about random imaginary questions, and it was super fun. So if you want to join the gang, feel free.
I'll have a look.
Yeah. Okay, we have 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Do you want to try blind contour drawing, or do you want to like just have a very stretched out period of time to do outros and talk about what we're working on?
Oh, well, it's
I'm good
entirely
with
up to you.
either.
Yeah, I'm not fussed. I mean, I don't think there's a poor soul on AuthorTube that hasn't heard about what I'm working on. So,
I mean, I haven't.
oh, well, there you go. Stick around long enough, Margaret. You will. So believe me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested in this blind contour thingy.
Okay, we could do that. I'll just do it for a minute. I'll explain it for 1 minute, and then we can do it for 1 minute. It's a pen and paper exercise. So pick those up, get them ready.
Do you need a big piece of paper, or can you use a Post-it?
If you've got fine motor skills, you can use a Post-it. Basically, you're going to be drawing a face without looking at the paper.
Okay.
Right.
So I use a big paper. Yeah.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is pick a face on the screen and stare at it, and put your pen on the paper, and you're going to have 30 seconds to draw it without picking up your pen from the paper.
Oh, you're awful.
Oh, no.
It's cool. It's cool. Don't worry. All right. So if you're ready, and if you've chosen your face, go ahead and put your pen on the paper and let her rip. Don't move the pen off the paper, and don't lose focus off the face. And I'll count us in, I guess. Okay. Go ahead.
Right. We're off then.
Yep.
Oh, dear. This is going to be very strange.
That's the point. So like loosen up your left brain, right brain, and confidence.
Very tempting to look down, isn't it? But you can't. Oh, wow.
Nope, you can't.
This is definitely going to be a disaster of monumental proportions.
It's going to be awesome. Don't worry.
It's really not going to be awesome.
It's going to be a work of modern art. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. Modern art. Yes.
Yeah, this is how Picasso did some of his stuff, right?
You would think, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm not worried about it. It's just I like to do justice to things.
All right.
Hands up.
Oh, mine didn't even have an ink. Oh, my God.
Oh, dear
Okay.
Lord.
Mine gave up before it even drew anything. Here, let me see if I can figure out.
Oh, my
It's like
goodness.
not focusing. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
Can you see
Can you
mine?
guess who I was drawing? What about you guys?
Nice.
No,
Let's
I was.
see, hold on.
Nice.
Who were you drawing, Margaret P?
I was drawing Margaret.
Funny,
Well,
I
here.
hear you. This is me tracing over my line, so it's not as great, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
See? Well, you guys only seem to do it once. I was doing a lot more lines than you. How funny.
Yeah, and I drew you, Margaret P.
I love it.
Looks like Groot.
It does. It looks like
Actually
Groot.
looks like Groot.
That's fun.
Actually, the nose and the eyes are nearly in the right place. It's just when I drew the neck and the chin on it, came underneath the original chin and neck.
Yeah.
Shoulders.
Yeah. I did this once. I just learned this like last week, and that's what I came up with. And I was like, that's not bad. That's very Picasso-esque.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good, actually. Yeah, I mean,
I
So I was like, I want to do this again.
I have done this multiple times as a kid because it's a very basic art class exercise that they will make you do.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in an art class, not since 6th grade.
Oh, I was at art college, but we never got to do any of that sort of thing. So that would have been fun.
I was a theater design major, so
Nice.
There you go.
all my life. So I grew up.
That is awesome. I want to hear more about that on your channel. That'd be really cool.
Mm.
So yeah, just he was responding, catching up here, saying Colin who, because Colin thinks everyone's heard of him.
No, I just mean I'm realizing there's people in the chat there who not only heard of me,
new people, right? Yeah.
death of listening to me, but yeah.
No.
in front of me.
No.
That's later. That's later in the month.
No.
Barrett is voting us officially the best stream ever.
That's funny.
It is fun. If you're stuck and if you're finding your brain like grinding against stones, like loosen up, take a breath, do something different. And that's just an example of one of those things. I had never done it because I'd never had an art class. So that was like, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
it's a
like
really wild exercise to do. And it really does make you kind of take a step back and like be less, what's the word? Critical of yourself. Yeah.
Eva got my ears more even than she anticipated. She's not making it. Thank you. There you go.
That's funny. Mine are not actually even on my head.
Nice. Yeah. So just fun stuff. And like what I was hoping for is just some laughter and some letting go of that inner criticism, which I think we're all not immune to. So I hope that was accomplished during this wellness stream to get your mood up a little and hopefully finish the wellness writing retreat on a good note. We've got until 10 p.m. Eastern tonight, and then it will conclude. So we've got about 4 minutes left today, this hour, and that is plenty of time for your outros. Margaret, why don't you go first and give us what's coming up for you and whatever you want to say, like where to find you, I guess.
All right. Well, as you can see, you can find me at The Word Nerd on YouTube. I am doing a bunch of like beginning of the year content. So I've got hopefully coming up this week, if I can get it edited. We're about to film it. The 22 books that I wish I'd read in 2021. And then I also have a lot more content coming for that TBR game that I mentioned, which is basically like a fantasy role playing. You build a character and then you build a TBR with traits that character has. So that's what got me into D&D, because I was like, I need to look at these things and figure out how other games work, and then rabbit hole. So
nice.
Anyway, I do a lot of like book content. I'm part of the Avengers Initiative Reading Challenge. I'm one of the co-hosts, and I've got some other stuff that's going to be coming up pretty soon that I've been asked to hang out with. And that's me. Hopefully we'll be seeing some more writing content from me this year, because my goal is to get to where I can query this year. So
awesome. Yay. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, you get to watch me tear my hair out as I turn my YA fantasy into an adult fantasy.
Oh boy. All right. Colin, take it away.
Okay, I am Colin Clark, if you've never met me before. I'm an author, tuber, and writer, and audio narrator. I'm on AuthorTube. Not a lot been done this month for sure, seeing as I've met myself coming backwards. I've been on everyone else's streams. I'll be doing a lot more content. I'm actually starting a series in the next week or so, which is starting on AuthorTube, beginner's guide to AuthorTube kind of thing. Nice. At the moment, I'm working on my horror short story collection to try and get that out into the world this year, and also my middle grade dark fantasy chimers. I'm getting a rewrite done on that so that I can query that this year, along with Barrett, Laurie, and a ton of other wonderful people who are middle grade writers club. So yeah, from me, this has been real fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. So that's it, and that's enough from me.
Thank you. And final goodbyes here is the next sprint is going to be stop. Clicked in the wrong spot. And now it's going to hide it again. Sorry. The next sprint is on Chandra's channel. That is the link to the writing sprint on Chandra's channel. So let's keep it going. Keep the good mojo. Thank you guys for stopping by, liking, commenting, subscribing, following these two geniuses, and have a great rest of your Sunday. Thanks, everybody.